got like the same clothes, kind of talk the same,
So,
like basically the same guy.
we're not partners. There are people out there who, if they suspected I knew what he knew, and I knew what he knew, they would have us all killed immediately.
What?
All right, I did get to see Wolves, Not Wolves, on Apple TV Plus this weekend. I thought it was kind of weird that Apple decided not to do a theatrical release for this movie because you've got Brad Pitt, you've got George Clooney, you've got it's directed by John Watts, who famously did the last 3 Spider-Man movies, so he's kind of on a roll. And I think it originally was supposed to go to theaters, and then Apple decided maybe we're not going to do this. I think it was limited for like a week, but I kind of, after watching it, kind of understand why Apple did what it did, because while the chemistry between Clooney and Pitts is great, we've seen it before, and they're probably the main reason why I didn't hate this film, because their chemistry and them just hanging out with each other is just fun to watch and an entertaining time. But your basic plot here is both Clooney and Pitt play fixers, basically, kind of like men for hire to cover up some, get rid of a dead body for you. The movie starts off, you've got, what's her name? I've got it pulled up here. I can look it up. Amy Ryan, yeah. She is like a district attorney or some kind of politician. They only flashed it on the screen for a second, but she ends up with a dead prostitute in her hotel room. She calls George Clooney, and he comes to try and fix it. And then the hotel calls Brad Pitt because they have their own fixer, and they were secretly monitoring her. And then they kind of get forced into working with each other, but kind of even that at the beginning is kind of a stupid reason of why they have to work with each other, but whatever. They kind of have to work with each other. Of course, they're both kind of like to be alone, do their job alone. So that's kind of the gist of the movie. It's mainly them two for the most part. There is this kid actor who they're kind of, I didn't really recognize him from anything. They're kind of is along for the ride for most of the second half of the movie. And I guess you're supposed to care for him or something. I mean, definitely Pitt and Clooney start to care about him. I don't know. I never did, and that's my huge negative for this movie, is that the story was not really that intriguing to me, and I was just kind of bored for a lot of it. Like, action scenes were kind of just nothing stuck out to me. I guess I'm getting a little spoiled because I like for my action scenes to have some kind of cool twist on it. Like even the Fall Guy earlier this year, I thought the action scenes in that were done really well. And this one, that's just like, it's the same old action scenes we've seen 1,000 times. And the story just was kind of boring and never really went anywhere. And they kind of tell you at the end everything that happened, and you're like, yeah, okay. I don't know. I never really cared that much. So for me, that's where I'm like, okay, I understand why Apple decided to put this in streaming, because I think they thought maybe people were going to have a bad reaction to going. You'd get people to go see it because they would want to go see the new Clooney Pitt movie, but this isn't like a Ocean's movie. There's not that level of excitement or tense in this movie. It's kind of a slower burn. Just watch Pitt and Clooney work off each other, and the story was just meh for me. So for me, it's worth a watch, I guess, especially if you're big into Clooney and Pitt. It was entertaining enough, but am I ever going to want to watch this again? Or no. It's like, for me, there's would be something I would never want to see or own again. And so for that reason, it's kind of disappointing. I'll give it a 3 out of 5 just because I thought the chemistry was there enough and it was entertaining for a one-time watch. So what do you guys think? Did you even know that this movie had come out? And until next time, this is Rainy Cage. Peace out.